All right, I think that we can start because I see that there is already a lot of people in this virtual room. So I think that you can already see my screen. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, and welcome to our Capacity for Dev advanced webinar about platform updates. Today is a very special day because it's actually our last platform update since the migration in May 2023. And therefore, this advanced webinar is focusing mainly on these updates since October 2023, because this was the last time when we had the advanced webinar and the platform updates with our space managers. This means group, projects, program, and resources, administrators, and owners. So let me then begin. You may already know me and also Ariela, but for those who doesn't know us, let us then introduce us because there are also some new people in our community of space managers. So my name is Marie Zametsnikova, and I'm the community manager of Capacity4dev. And I would also like to give a floor to Ariela to introduce her.
Good morning. I'm Ariella. I work in DG INTPA Unit D4 and coordinating Capacity4dev. I welcome you all today in this last webinar of the new site updates and last of the year and last in general, as Marie will tell you that this was the last developments of the new site. And I wish you a good seminar with Marie, guidance, and see you in the next year soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ariela. And I would also like to tell you more about also our team, because even though we are here, two of us, me and Ariela, there is actually big team behind. So you might also be in contact, for example, with the editorial team or also the IT team. And yeah, so this is just a couple of words about us. But what we will cover today. So first, I would like to introduce the timeline of the changes because this is important to tell you more about the platform updates and where we are currently right now. Also, then about the new features and functions on the platform that we introduced since October 2023. And then still, some more are expecting the yearly 2024. So here we will be also updating you about the upcoming features and functions. Then I will definitely also give you the virtual tour because the learning is about the practice and not only about the theory. So I will also show you where you can find these new features and how it works. And of course, you can ask during the webinar anything in the chat. So there will be Ariela also answering some questions, but then at the end we will have a brief question and answer session where you can also unmute yourself and ask anything in the real time because sometimes the issues might be too complex to, for example, write it in the chat. So let's then start with the timeline of changes. So as I said, at the end of May, we started with a new platform and it had been a really a roller coaster journey of the different functions as well as the bug fixing. So we thank you very much for being patient with us. But right now we actually are at the end of the post MVP, which means the last of the new deployment of new features. As you can see, the post MVP actually started July and was lasting until the November. And right now we are in the timeline where we are mainly focusing on the maintenance and the bug fixing. So, for example, when you see something on the platform that doesn't look right or that doesn't work, then don't hesitate to write us to support at capacity4dev.eu, and we will try to fix it as soon as possible. Also, very important update is that right now the MKS program is finishing, which means that the current contract that the Commission has with the MKS is finishing after more than 4 years, and the contract is transferring to the new company. Therefore, we would like to also ask you, because some of you might have, for example, my contact details, which is marie.zamechnikova at mksp.eu. So we would like to kindly ask you to not use anymore these kind of email addresses, and to actually direct all of the mailboxes, all of the queries to our support at capacity4dev.eu, because this is very important for the continuation and the communication. In case that will something happen, that you will contact me even without, for example, remembering this, then there will be redirecting out of the office message, but please write down somewhere the support at capacity4dev.eu, because this is very important. But yeah, this is also just to take a few seconds about celebrating the end of Post MVP. As you can also see, the old platform and the new platform look totally different, and our team was working really hard to actually develop it as user-friendly as possible for you and for your usage. So this has been a very important milestone for all of us. And here you can see the email address that you should use from the beginning of the next year. So support at capacity4dev.eu for all of the queries, including the editorial and the IT. Everything should be redirected to this mailbox. So I will just give you a second if you, for example, want to write it down somewhere, or if you want to take a picture of it. But yeah, from the beginning of the new year, we will be using mainly this address, because most of our experts will be actually switching to the new mailbox. But no, why we are actually here? It's mainly for the platform updates, and the question, what actually is new since October 2023? So since then, we have deployed into our system, for example, the bulk function for the library folders. This is mainly for the utilization that a lot of you, the space managers, are now having the documents in the library, and you were not using on our old platform the folders. And therefore, we also deployed the bulk function, where you can utilize and use this function to, for example, transfer the 20 library items into the exact folder for your effective utilization of these folders, so that you can start from today. I will then show you how it works, how the folders works, and also how you can manage them, and how to use this function during our virtual tour. Also, we deployed the content update. So this update we were very awaiting since the migration started, because it was actually put to deploy at the end of the whole post MVP. And we are really glad that finally we have this on our platform. And if you were user with us before May 2023, you can remember that you were receiving, for example, daily, weekly, or monthly, something like a Capacity4dev newsletter. It's mainly the content update that, for example, you are following different groups, different contents, or also now it will be with following different people. And you were receiving this content update, also aka newsletter, based on your preferences that you have set in your settings. And this is now back. So I will be showing you where you can find it, mainly in terms of the settings, because you need to choose how frequent this content update should arrive into your mailbox, about the different messages that you receive or the people that you follow, etc. Also, I don't know to what extent you were able to so far explore the chat feature that we have also on our platform, but there is also a possibility that we recently deployed, and it's report the user or the spammer. So I will also show you how to do it in case that, for example, you receive some weird message via the chat. There is this function where you can report the user or spammer, and then this will trigger the notification to the Drupal admin, for example, from the IT team or also me, and we will be investigating if this person is for example, hurting our community, etc. Then also we have more advanced statistics. So I will be also showing you how it looks. It's mainly about the users of your group or also the content where you can see the different statistics and also the network. This works something like a LinkedIn. If you are actually using LinkedIn, you know that, for example, you can follow different people before you make them your connection, and you can receive the notification about what do they post, what do they follow, what do they comment on. And right now we also have this function on our platform. And last but not least is that Gogas became space managers. I know that most of you are not really familiar with this abbreviation, but it means group owners and administrators. And this abbreviation was also used a lot, for example, internally in our team. However, also we had the private group, which was called Group Owners and Administrators, where we were publishing the new notifications. However, this group was also for the project and program administrators and owners, and therefore it was not very connecting to the abbreviation itself. But now with the migration, we even added the resource owners and administrators, so it's even less relevant than before, and therefore we decided to change it to space managers, because all of you who are managing, for example, your project or program pages, or even also are managing your community inside your group. In a nutshell, you are a space managers, regardless of if it's the resource, the program, or even the group. So we will be also working on in upcoming month to revamp and to change our rhetoric in the different static pages, and we will be changing it to the space managers. So if on our platform you will anytime see this phrase, it means actually that it's you, because you are the managers of our platform. And if you, for example, were on some of our onboarding webinars, we are usually stressing out that Capacity4dev is created 80% by our community and only 20% by our editorial team. It means that all of the content that we have on the platform is actually created by you, by the space managers. And therefore, it's very important for the community to thrive from this direction as well. So, and speaking about that, we actually ended already the post MVP. What are actually the upcoming features or the functions that we still have in the pipeline and that will be coming very soon for you? So some of the things that you can still get excited for is, for example, the multilingual platform. For example, you will be able to switch between English, French, and Spanish. So there will be a button. It will be also human translated. So we will have a translator who will be translating all of the static pages of our platform, and you will be able to really easily switch between these three languages. However, also for other language speaking people, we have a machine translation function in store. So this will also be deployed in the near future, and there you will be able to find other languages, such as, for example, such as, for example, Czech, Slovak, or even others. However, this function will be only machine translated, therefore we don't guarantee 100% accuracy, and it will be the machine translation. However, it will be also at your convenience there on our platform. The second one is a long speaking topic, which is the subtopics. Currently, we are revising all of the subtopics with the units, and it should be finalized by the end of this year. So we are really excited that the topics and the subtopics will be finalized, because it's the main algorithm, the main running of our platform. Because when you register, you actually have to select the topics or the subtopics that are in your interest, and then you receive the different suggestions or even the updates regarding your interest of your topics, subtopics, or the countries. Therefore, this is very important. And there will be also introduced a system where, for example, if your group was under the subtopic that will no longer be, for example, on our platform, we will be redirecting it to the new one, which is the closest subtopic to the old one. However, you will see it will be more straightforward system on our platform. Also, as I said before, we will be revising the Space Managers group. So you can again get excited for more notifications, because inside this group, it's private group only for the Space Managers. And we will be updating you about, for example, the multilingual platform is already deployed. We will be communicating through it the new initiatives, also the updates, etc. So you can also get excited about it. And in upcoming advanced webinars, we will also speak about it. And you also should be part of this private group. And last but not least is that we are planning more community activities, especially also networking activities for you with my colleagues, but also with the ambassadors, about which I will be speaking in a minute. And it's regarding the community coffees, where we want to actually have the virtual coffees with you, where we will be brainstorming about the different activities, what you would like to see more on our platform, and how to more feel connected to our community. So you can also get excited to this. So, and as I just said, the word ambassador. So let me just briefly introduce you the ambassador program that you could already see somewhere on our platform. What is it about, etc. However, as you are the main part of our community, I think it's very important to also unleash this curtain for you and to tell you more about what this program is about, and what are actually the intentions behind it. So this slide we presented to our 28 ambassadors who were selected and who actually applied to our program earlier this year. So they went through the selection procedure, and it's actually our first edition of ambassadors program. It's cohort which is taking place in 2023 and 2024, and we are the main objective of the ambassadors program is to actually develop the awareness and outreach of our platform, because Capacity4dev is a very powerful tool for development professionals, and we actually now need to tell it to the public that the Capacity4dev as a platform is here and ready for them to use. So these 28 ambassadors, they are going with us through the different workshops, through the different webinars where we are also where they can learn about our platform, and they also help us with the communication, and they will be, for example, writing the ambassador blogs in the future, but we also want to include them in other activities, such as, for example, the community coffees, where you will be able to meet them. Mainly, it works from the communication perspective as the multiplier effect, because how to connect the best to the public in the community aspect to other development professionals than through actually the development professionals themselves. So this is also one of the objective itself. And we recently had a launch date, so you could see some kind of hype around it on our platform as well as on our social media if you are following us there. So now I would like to just share my different screen because we will jump directly to the virtual tour where I will be showing you how the different functions on our platform actually look. So allow me just a second to change my screens. And yes, here we are. So first of all, I am now logged in with my Space Manager profile, where you can also see here the personalized feed. So we already mentioned that this is the main feature that actually changed since the migration. And this is your login homepage where you can find the main suggestions based on your topics and also the countries. However, here on the sidebar, you can see the people who I am, for example, following. And this is very important because I will be also able to receive the different notifications about their activities on our platform. So, for example, if you are the development professional in the agriculture sector, you can go to the members profile, to the member section, to the members tab, and you can search here. You can search here for the people who have the similar topic of interest, and you can look at the people who are actually registered on our platform. And if you find somebody who you would like to be interested in what they are interested in on our platform, then you just click on follow. You can also see that you have the button contact if they actually agreed with our privacy policy, and you can write them the message if you want to make more of the networkings. Also, when you go back to the personalized feed, you can find under the following sidebar also your followers. So if somebody is following you, then you can also see the people here. And then you also can get the suggestions about who to follow. So the people who best match the interests of which you fill out on our platform, and you can then go to their profile and you can start to follow them if they actually match your interests as such. However, you can also go to your network when you click on your profile and click on my profile. And here I am inside my Space Manager profile. This is the main navigation bar, and you can see here that there is a network. And when you click on it, you will see the same thing as we had on the personalized feed. However, it's more straightforward, and you can also search for the members if you, for example, have more followers or more followings. Here you have next to it a messages, which is actually the chat that recently got also deployed. However, since October, what is new is that if you click on the person who wrote you, so here you can see that I wrote actually myself to my another profile. However, let's say that it's another user, and here when you click on the three dots, you can see that here is mark as a spam. So if you mark as a spam, then the person should be disabled from writing you, as well as he or she will then be reported to our Drupal admins. who will then be investigating if that person is harming our community, or what issue actually is there. So this is your profile and how you can see your network and the messages. However, when you go to your settings, which was the lightning button under your name, and you can see here, you can update all of the information about you. You can also put your LinkedIn profile if you want to redirect other users to continue to other platforms, for example. You can write a brief bio. So this I very recommend, because then people will know more about you, what you are doing, and they can then assess if, for example, they want you in their network. Also, the profile image, the interests, so the countries and the topics. And here we have the notification. This is very important because by default it's set as a weekly. However, you can also change it to, for example, daily, immediate. So it means that you will receive the immediate update if something new appears, some new document, or something new on our platform will get updated. So regarding the topics or the countries of your interest or the people you are following, or weekly, monthly, or also never. So and then you should not forget to save changes. If you are wondering why, for example, some people cannot contact you, or you don't have the button contact, or some people don't have the button contact, it's mainly because of this one sentence. So if you want to be contacted or don't want to be contacted, then either tick this box or untick it, and then click on Save Changes. So you can now see here that we got updated our profile. So now let me go to one of the groups that I am admin of. And here, when I go to manage group, you can also see here that you have available view stats, or also view admin stats. This is mainly that when you click on it, you can actually see the advanced statistics that we recently deployed. And you can see either the statistics about the users, or about the content. I would just like to also now again switch my screens, because I would like to show you some more tweaks and tricks, but I will need for this my administrator profile. So let me just go to another screen. And yes, here we are. I will go to the group owners and administrators, which will also in the recent future change to the space managers, as we spoke about recently. So if you are actually not part of this group, let us also know in the chat. So write, for example, space manager, and I will add you to this group, so you are part of the notifications actually. But yes, so here when you click on the view stats, for example, if you are a space manager, you can see here a different statistics. So about your users. So the name, last name, also like when the person became the member, last activity, from where, from which organization the person is, and the country. This is very interesting to conduct actually the statistical management, because you can also download it into the CSV file, and you can analyze, for example, from where your members are coming from. So from which country, from which organization, and then you can also narrow the documents to their interests, for example. Or you can also see last activity. So you can assess who is the most, for example, active person in terms of when he or she was logged recently or not, or what is the total content posted or comment posted. This might be also very useful when, for example, you updated a new document inside your space, and then the person tells you that he or she didn't see it, that you probably didn't update it there or something. But when you take a look at the last activity, you can then assess if that person was on our platform since then or not. Then I would like to show you also the second statistics, which is the admin stats. And here you should be able to see all of the different content available, and who published it, and when it was created. Also, like a group owners and administrators group is we didn't really use it, especially since the migration, because the space managers didn't receive the notification. This was mainly due to the content updates that I showed you the notification inside your settings, and therefore it was not really used recently. However, when you go to your group, which is up to date, you can see, for example, how many follows that content has, how many views, when it was created, who created it, etc. If you see that there is written, for example, former Capacity4dev member, it means that that person is no longer on our platform, and it's mainly due to that he or she did not log to our platform within the last 2 years. So we needed to actually purge that user profile, and this is why it's called former Capacity4dev member. So this is about the statistics. However, the very interesting feature that I also wanted to show you is the library. So here you can see that you can upload inside the library, for example, the PowerPoint presentations or the PDFs, etc. And you can have really a lot of different materials here. However, to better organize these materials, we have recently deployed folders. So these folders are very useful and are working similarly to the info. The main difference between the info and the library is that the info is your one-stop shop to provide the main and important information to your members. So here you write, for example, about your group. So who is behind the group? What is it about? What you want to post? Also, maybe some kind of repository of the trainings. So if you want to also provide people about your past conference, you can then write a post about it. So this is something like a blog, like a static pages where you can express yourself and tell the users more about what is your group about, or even your project, or the group itself and its activities. However, the library is just the repository of the materials. So here you can find a collection of all of the PDFs, PowerPoint presentations, etc. Why it's very important, and I usually recommend first for the users to upload the materials that you then want to, for example, use in the info, to upload it first in the library. So you go here to post content, and you select post a library item. Here you can also see the list of what is considered as a library item, and then you just follow step by step. When you upload, for example, the PowerPoint presentation, which you want to then add to the info, you go to your info page, and here you select Manage Pages. When you are in the Manage Pages, you, for example, select that you want to add this PowerPoint presentation here in the second page. So I click on Manage and Edit. When the page load, actually the page will be shown in the CK editor and in the editing mode, where you can also then select the different documents. So you see here the title of the page, the content, etc. But here, when you select the file, you can click on Browse Files. And here you can choose either that you want to upload a new file from your laptop, for example, or browse your library. So if I have uploaded the PowerPoint presentation in my library, I will also find it here. Or then you can also browse the Capacity4dev library and you can simply add it there. So this is the main difference between the library and the info, where the info is the main static page about your group, and the library is the repository of your documents that you then want to use to, for example, explain something to users, or is a very useful document for the members to see. But you can also, as I said before, adjust it and organize it inside the folders. So you have here the button add a folder. So when you click on it, you just add the name, and this you can leave as a none if you want that the folder will be as the first folder in the organization and the construction. So for example, if I will create a new folder called test, but I will want to have the folder called test under the training, then I will select the parent folder and then add folder. And you can see now that still the folder training is here. However, when I click on it, the test is under it in the different category. Then let's say I want to have the training 2 folder, which will not be part of the training. And then when you just add folder and leave the parent folder as a none, it will be in the same order. However, now how you can make how you can make a different library items part of these folders. So the easiest way is that, for example, this capacity for this dev revamp guideline, I will click on the 3 dots and just click select the folder or move to folder, and I will choose one of the folders where I want to move it. So I selected that I wanted to have it in test. And now when we go to the test folder, we can actually see that right now it's not there yet, but yeah, I refreshed it and now it appeared inside the test folder. So like this, you can move one by one item into the folder. But let's say that you have, for example, 100 items, because since the migration, you have uploaded a lot of items, and you would like to make it more as a bulk function and then not do it one by one. So then you select move to folder button, and here now you can see all of the items which you actually can move to the folder by just clicking and ticking the box and then click on move to folder, and it will just ask you which folder you want to use again. So this is an easy way for you to actually navigate yourself and to move the items in the different folders. So these are the different things that are new since the October. And also here, when we will go to the topics, this is what you can get excited for soon. But when you go to the topics tab inside the navigation bar, you will be able to see all of the list of our topics. These all are already revamped and were revised by the different units in the DG International Partnership. However, what we are now revising and working on is these subtopics. So you see that there are really a lot of them, and some of them are duplications. So this will change very soon. And the last but not least is the translation button, which you do not see because now I am logged in with the Drupal administrator profile. Therefore, I see this button. However, you do not yet. But it will look like this. You will just click on it and you will be able to translate it with the machine, or also switch to the 3 different languages. So I see that the clock is ticking, and now I would like to actually go into the question and answer session. But first, let me ask Ariella if there was some interesting questions in the chat while I was speaking.
A lot of interesting questions, of course. I answered to some of them. I think one that I didn't answer is Susanna's question about the possibility for the space managers to see the statistics of a subtopic which was posted within a group, which is something we never considered. We can investigate. I don't know, Marie, if you have if you know about it, or we'll check with our IT colleagues.
So what was the question? The subtopic.
Yeah. So the one of Susanna. Maybe Susanna, do you want to explain a little bit more about this?
I'm one of the space managers of the green economy and the climate change group. And we have different pieces of content that come together in this group. There is green economy, there is forestry, there's climate change, and there is a circular economy. I personally work on the circular economy, but other colleagues are working on other things. And it would be interesting to us to see whenever something was tagged with circular economy, how many clicks did this get? And this
only
is because
within your group.
Yeah, because we're a joint group. We're not a project. You know, if you have a single group for one issue, that is not an issue. But we are a group that is basically covering the whole range of green economy. And in the past, you know, I've gone to each of the pieces and I have added my own Excel list. But I guess there is an option from your side to make this possible. That's my question, whether it is possible. Otherwise, I will, you know, go back to each document and add the views that I see on the screen, as I've done in the past. But if there is an automatic way to do it, that would, of course, be easier.
I think that this is something that we actually we have it in, for example, the group export. So when we do for the reporting purposes, group export, there is availability that we can see the topics and subtopics. And I think that this might be quite fast tweak from the IT department to put in the content stats of the group if we would put the topics and subtopics in the export. So I think that this might be actually possible if we would then consult it with our IT department, and we will come back to, because I think that this also might make sense that you can filter.
For the moment, what I suggest, so if you go on your group and by type of content, so if you go under discussion, there in the filters, you can select the subtopic and you will see all the discussions that have been posted on with this subtopic tag, and you just count them like that. If they are not 1,000, I think it's quite easy. You will have to go under discussion and under library and under those two.
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
is the easiest,
I mean,
for the moment. I would suggest.
Yeah, it is obviously possible to do it by hand, but I was just wondering whether this could be, you know, automated.
We'll write it down as a suggestion for future developments. Thank you.
Thank you.
Enhancements. All right. So this was a very interesting question. Thank you for that.
And Jordan was asking how to change the. I'm not sure what you meant. The etiquette, the label of the group.
Probably
which
maybe the name of the group.
I'm not sure. Jordan, if you want to speak out.
And explain more what the label means. Photo. How to change the
Yes.
banner and the thumbnail.
Yeah, of course. You go under manage group, and then edit group, and then there you can both change the label, sorry, the banner, which is the bigger photo that you see on the group page, or the thumbnail, which is the smaller in a square, like this one that you see in those cards. That's the thumbnail, and the banner is this one that Marie is showing under the edit group. I hope this answered the question. And Bianca had a last question that we didn't have the time to read. That more type of events ongoing? Call for proposals. The label, the type of events. If you want Bianca to send an email about this with if you have more suggestions for type of events, we'll take it into consideration. Thanks. Those kind of tips and ideas are always very welcome.
And don't forget to write it to support@capacity4dev.eu. Just a friendly reminder. Anybody else who has a question, don't hesitate to just raise your hand and ask us the question in the real time with us to explain us even more complex issues if you have something with our platform. So just raise your hand. But in the meantime, I just also want to take the time to a bit promote the help and support that is also available on our platform. So here, when you scroll down to the footer, you can click on help and support, and here you can use and type or search for something that you are not sure how to do by a keyword, or select the different groups here. You can also go to contact, where you will be able to find actually community support center. And here you can see what are the upcoming webinars. So onboarding webinar, for example, if you want to get explanation more about what the platform is, or basics of our platform, or even some more advanced webinars, because from January onwards, we will be focusing on more narrow topics, such as, for example, how to be active on our platform, or we will also dive deeper into the statistics. You can also directly schedule a support call with our team, either, for example, the editorial team or the IT team. Also, the different tutorials that we have on the YouTube channel, and get the onboarding right away, or even the identity guidance. So I think that I don't see any other question in the meantime. So then this I already mentioned.
Sorry,
yes.
Can I break?
Sure.
I've just sent a question over.
About the size of the documents.
Yes. So just a quick brief. I've gone to post documents, and they're not just any old document. They're quite important documents. I work in social protection. So, for example, there was an ILO document recently I went to post. And then my solution was then to put a link in the text, saying this is where you can find it online. But I was just wondering if, there was another suggestion on how to address that, or whether indeed there was scope in the future to increase the capacity of the size over.
For the moment, is it single documents that are so big?
Yes.
Okay. And how big have you? What is your experience in the needs? Because this this maximum size limit was fixed with an assessment of what was needed, but it's interesting to know what would be the needs.
Have you
Okay,
also tried to?
I will share with you the link to the last document I went to upload. I mean, there've been quite a few that I haven't been able to upload because of the size. So thankfully not too many, but enough to warrant mention. So I'll send you the link after the webinar. Thank you.
Have you also tried to compress it? So like make actually smaller size, because sometimes it's actually like,
I have
yes.
WinZip it, you know, and it won't accept the WinZip very easily.
Okay,
so then
if you
it's
can
great
if you can send it also by email, so we know the details and we will see how to solve it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I think that our webinar is also coming to the end, but if you have any other question, you can also contact us on support at capacity4dev.eu, and we will definitely come back to you. Also, like not only that we celebrated the end of the post MVP during this platform updates webinar, but we also actually celebrate the end of this year, which is coming slowly to the end. And as next week there is actually Christmas, because time is running. And if you are one of the persons that actually discovered that this week, that next week is Christmas, then I very wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and not a lots of shopping madness in upcoming days. And I will be in touch with you either via email or in our support call, etc. And we will then see each other in the new year. So thank you so much for spending time with us today during the advanced webinar, and I wish you a Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Well, thank you for everything. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Bianca. To you as well.